Welcome to the Texas PTA Extra Credit Resource on Building Relationships. Building relationships is one of the most important and rewarding parts of PTA. Our mission statement even calls on us to engage with our families and communities. PTA is about relationships. We thrive when we stand together. We engage, we empower, we bring people together, and we make each other better, because ultimately, that is how we successfully advocate for our children. Good relationships may just be the most important factor in your PTA's success. Building those relationships can help you advance your mission. It's easy to get things done when everyone shows respect, listens to other viewpoints, works as a team, and supports one another. Having a strong and welcoming team in place is crucial for building the future leadership for your PTA. Maybe best of all, the relationships that you build in PTA often develop into friendships outside of PTA. So how do we begin to build those relationships? As leaders, we need to be intentional, viewing every point of contact as an opportunity to build or strengthen relationships within our community. The power of PTA is strengthened when we have strong relationships with our families, our school and district leadership, our teachers, our local businesses. You get the idea. We build relationships in PTA the same way we build relationships in other parts of our lives. We get to know people by making small talk, asking questions, and listening. The approach. It's a matter of being genuinely interested in your fellow humans. We share the things that are important to us. The elevator speech. Know how to share your passion for PTA in a short amount of time, so you could explain it even during a short elevator ride. We empower people to get involved. The ask. Think back. Most of us got involved in PTA because someone asked us. This is how we build a diverse pipeline of future leaders in PTA. Remember, PTAs are strongest when their leaders and members reflect the diversity of their own communities. Multiple perspectives bring a variety of solutions to the table. It is not always easy to establish new relationships. So once you've established a relationship, it is important to nurture it. Treat relationships as a two-way street. Sometimes a relationship can become one-sided, with one person always asking things from the other without reciprocating when asked. This becomes frustrating to the person who is always giving. Be sure you are contributing to the relationship. Appreciate each other. People need to feel appreciated in order to keep relationships going. If you notice that someone did a stellar job of collecting the necessary data for the committee, say so. If you enjoy working with someone, let them know. We are all human beings, and appreciation helps us thrive. Extend yourself. Go a little out of your way, at least once in a while. If one of your fellow executive board members looks exhausted after having put in long hours planning for and working an event, let them know what a great job they did and offer to oversee the cleanup so they can go home early. Challenge each other to do better. We all need a buddy to help us stretch ourselves beyond what we think we can do. We can also build stronger relationships by challenging our fellow leaders to take on bigger challenges. Collaborating on projects can also potentially secure a successor and help us to beef up that leadership pipeline we desperately need to keep advancing our mission. Back each other when things get tough. Loyalty is essential to keeping relationships healthy. We may not agree with a board member or fellow volunteer, but we can stand by him or her when they're in a jam. Respect and value varied opinions. Encourage people to express their opinions and feelings. Different views and perspectives are valuable assets. Be respectful and humble. A leader is only successful because of the team. Always give them the credit they deserve when things go right. And never point fingers if things go wrong. Work the room. Ever go to a meeting and the executive board is in a huddle on stage or in the back of the room, only talking to each other? What message does that send to everyone else? Instead, be approachable and welcoming to create an environment that draws people in. Use humor when appropriate, but only if you are comfortable with humor. You don't want your jokes to fall flat. And never tease someone or use humor at someone else's expense. But what if people aren't getting along? The reality is, this is sometimes the case. Among other things, personality conflicts can create dysfunctional relationships and can disrupt your PTA's ability to get work done, bring in volunteers, and can cause a high rate of attrition on the current board. It is best to address discord early. Here are a few tips. Listen to one another. This is not always easy. Make sure you are not interrupting the other person as they talk. It helps if after they finish with their point, to reiterate to them what they just said to you. This helps to make sure you are truly comprehending the point they are trying to make. Look for the truth in what the other person is saying. Sometimes acknowledging that you see the other person's point, even though you maintain your position, is enough to diffuse the situation. Separate emotions from reality. Everyone's emotions surface intermittently, especially when people truly believe in the work they do. People often say things they don't mean when they are emotional. Allow time and space for people to feel their emotions and settle down before addressing the discord. This should always be done in a private setting with only those involved present. Respect one another. Even though it may be difficult, focus on the positive aspects of the relationship or focus on the end goal. People don't have to be friends outside association business, but they most definitely need to show respect for one another while on association time. If you model respect, the other person will usually follow. Don't give up your principles and speak from your heart. Don't sacrifice what you believe in just to make a relationship work. If you give up on your principles, conflict will rear its ugly head at some point in the future. As you try to alleviate discord, sincerity can go a long way. When someone sees you are being genuine and are speaking from the heart, people are much more likely to lend grace. Just be sure to keep focused on what you and the other person care about most: the goals of the project, each other, the community, etc. Good communication is key to a good relationship, and many problems are caused by miscommunication or lack of communication. Be sure that you are communicating clearly. Listen to hear what the other person is saying to you, rather than listening to rebut. People want and need to be heard. Face-to-face is best. It's easy to misinterpret someone through email or text. A lot of communication happens that is not verbal. A person's body language can tell you a lot. Be aware of the message your own body language is sending, and watch the other person's body language as well. Are they leaning in to hear you? Are you crossing your arms in defense? Questions are important. That's how you learn more and fill in any gaps. Just be sure you are communicating diplomatically. Both of you should be able to leave the conversation feeling respected and heard. A one-on-one mentoring relationship can have real value as you grow in your PTA leadership journey. A mentor is someone who will offer you guidance, advice, and support. PTA has a strong network of PTA leaders throughout Texas who have been where you are and where you may one day want to be. Seek out a few and start learning. If you do establish a formal mentoring relationship with someone, Here are a few tips. Decide together how you will meet, in person, by phone or Zoom, or via email or text, for example. When will you meet? Will you have established check-in times? Will the mentor be available if questions or concerns come up? Set goals together. What would you like to learn from your mentor? What aspects of your leadership role would you like to explore? Have two-way conversations. This is a great opportunity to share your own insights and perspectives, as well as to learn. Make your own decisions. Your mentor can give you suggestions and advice, but ultimately, you decide the best course of action. Also, be a mentor. There is no better way to learn than to teach, and being a mentor might even allow you to fulfill one of your most important tasks in PTA, finding your replacement. You'll want to look at those same tips from the mentor's point of view. Decide together how and when you will meet. Set goals together. Conversations should never be one-sided, and empower them to make their own decisions. Strong relationships are sometimes the only thing that allows us to solve certain problems, or the key to holding a successful event. PTA has lots of moving parts, but don't let the other aspects of your PTA role distract you from building and maintaining relationships within the executive board, your school, and your community. Relationships are not fluff. They are the essence of PTA. Don't let your quest for knowledge end with this. Here are a few resources that will help you continue gathering tips on how to build relationships.